These three soldiers are about to be executed. Not for desertion, not for cowardice. One, because his regiment thinks he's a fool. One, because he was simply unlucky. And one, because he witnessed a superior officer murder his own man out of fear. This is Colonel Dax, played by Kirk Douglas. He's a defense lawyer who became a soldier, and he's about to defend three men in the most hopeless trial of his life. This is General Mireau, the ambitious Scarface, and this is General Broulard, the puppet master pulling all the strings from behind the scenes. He just ordered an impossible attack that he knew would kill half of his men, and he is the one who ordered an artillery strike on his own troops. These are French soldiers advancing toward the enemy. But here's something haunting. Throughout the entire film, we barely see the enemy, and most of the deaths don't come from enemy fire at all. They come from friendly fire on their own side. This is Paths of Glory, Stanley Kubrick's most underrated masterpiece. And what makes this film so devastating is that while the story comes from a novel, it's rooted in somewhat real events. The French military did really execute their own soldiers during World War I. It's 1916, and the French army is stuck in brutal trench warfare. Soldiers are dying by the thousands for mere inches of ground. The generals, safe in their luxurious chateaus, are more concerned with their careers and reputations than the lives of their men. General Broulard offers General Mireau a promotion, but only if he can capture a strategic position, called the anthill. Mireau knows the mission is suicide. His own officers tell him it's impossible, but he wants that promotion, so he orders the attack anyway. What makes Paths of Glory truly brilliant is how Kubrick filmed it. Those tracking shots through the trenches put you right there with the soldiers. The contrast between the muddy, chaotic trenches and the pristine, ornate chateau where the generals live shows you exactly who's paying the price for this war. And Kubrick's use of symmetry and composition makes every frame feel like you're watching injustice unfold with mechanical precision. Now, here's the crazy part. During World War I, the French military really did execute soldiers for cowardice to set examples. Many men were shot by their own army. And the film was so controversial that it was banned in France for years and suppressed in several other countries. Kubrick made this film in 1957 when he was only 28 years old. He wasn't yet the legendary perfectionist director we know from 2001 or The Shining. But you can already see his genius here. Kirk Douglas, who plays Colonel Dax, later said this was the best film he ever made. And he fought to get it produced when no studio wanted to touch it. The film ends with a scene that's so simple yet so powerful that it'll stay with you forever. After everything, after the executions, after the injustice, the soldiers are gathered in a tavern. A terrified German girl is brought out to sing for them. At first, the soldiers mock and jeer at her. But as she sings, something changes. These hardened soldiers, these men who've seen unspeakable horrors, they start to cry. They remember they're human. Suddenly, they're defeated by their enemy, who is a German girl. And here's a nice detail. That German girl was Christiane Harlan, and Kubrick married her. They met during this film, and she was his lifelong wife until his death. What makes Paths of Glory so devastating is that it's not just about the injustice of war. It's about what war does to everyone involved, how it dehumanizes us, and how sometimes, in the smallest moments, we're reminded of our humanity. Stanley Kubrick would go on to make bigger films, more famous films. But Paths of Glory might be his most honest. It's raw, it's angry, and it doesn't flinch in its portrayal of how institutions sacrifice individuals. The film basically asks one question: who really benefits from war? If you haven't seen Paths of Glory, you need to watch it. It's not just one of Kubrick's best films. It's one of the greatest war films ever made. And unlike other war films that glorify combat or focus on heroism, this one shows you the real tragedy. That the real enemy isn't always on the other side. Sometimes it's the people giving the orders.